Welcome to Cohesive Friendship Unit. My name's Chris. I'm here with Brian,
What's going on?
Jake,
Hey guys.
and Jeremy.
Yo, what's up?
2019 has turned out to be a little bit more of a big VR year than I think a lot of people are anticipating. I think a lot of people in 2018 were like, VR is dead, VR sucks, and it seems like the market is kind of maybe disagreeing. PSVR sales are doing much better than anyone thought. Nintendo just came out with Labo VR. Oculus is coming out with Oculus Quest this month, I believe, in May. And now, starting to today, you can pre-order the not HTC anymore, the Steam Valve Index, the Vive Index, if you will. Steam's dedicated VR headset. And we're going to talk all about it. It's the newest, most premium VR headset you can get. But real quick, guys, we are posting a Steam code in the description of this video. And it's going to be Cook, Serve, Delicious too. All you have to do is check the description. There will be a code there if you want to give it a shot and see if it's still active. Try to claim it. Thanks for all your subs and support. We really appreciate it. And consider subbing if you're not already. Alright guys, what do we think about this? Or should I do a quick overview of it?
Yeah,
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here are the benefits that this headset has over the previous HTC Vive. It is an LCD. It uses dual LCD displays, which provide a much higher resolution than the original Vive, and it runs at up to 144 hertz. And the two of these are gonna help reduce motion sickness because the world's gonna be more fluid and it's going to be more crisp. There's going to be no screen door effect. There's also 20 degrees more field of view in the headset, so it's not going to look like you're looking through a pair of goggles in underwater. It's going to look much more natural, which should also help with motion sickness in particular and add to the immersion. The next big thing that they included are the Knuckles controllers, which actually strap to your hands, which allows you to completely let go of the controllers and they'll still attach or stay on your hands. This lets you like actually grab things and actually throw things. So this is a pretty substantial bump.
Yeah, and I have to say, the website for the Vive Index has No Man's Sky VR on there as its promotional content, which I'm pretty pumped about.
So
yeah, I mean, like, if the controllers work, it's gonna be. I think that could be a lot. You know, with they talk about like capacitive sensors in it, so it can like determine where your fingers are and stuff, and that'll be. You know, that'll be a good step forward. But I hope it doesn't turn into the Wii situation circa like 2008 when people were throwing them through their TV. Instead, now you're throwing your $350, $400 controller straight at the wall. Like you know that there's going to be someone that has smaller hands than they designed for, and this and that, or someone's going to give it to their kid, and it's going to get thrown at a wall pretty hard. So I hope they made them nice and strong. High impact ABS. Maybe with a little glass fiber in there.
Personally, I'm most excited for the, at least on paper, motion sickness reduction potential, because I get motion sickness in VR, and I can definitely attribute some of that to poorer tracking, poorer field of view, and poorer refresh rates or like frame rates in the games. And I think this could address a lot of that. There's a reason monitors kind of stop, or a reason people are pretty happy around 120, 144 hertz, because the diminishing returns are so small. You're getting so close to life that it's
but
it could.
Isn't that like a physiological thing? Like if it makes you sick, it's always going to make you sick, pretty much no matter. Like I don't get the one time that I've done VR, I didn't feel any nausea at all.
Well, no, I mean, there's a bunch of it's compounding reasons that could make you sick. You could even just get a headache from the refresh rate being too low, not necessarily motion sick. But I mean, that combined with that widened field of view, I think would be a big help for me personally.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about FOV when they talk about motion sickness, so it sounds like they're heading in the right direction, but I don't know, Brian. I don't know if they're ever going to, like, I don't know if they'll be perfect for everyone, like you're saying.
Yeah, like even if they can reduce the market segment that, because it's a significant number of people that get motion sick from the current VR setups, and even if they can eat into that a little bit, it'll be a huge leg up. But
Yeah.
I mean, until they put the jack in the side of your fucking head and it's plugged right into your brain, I don't think there will be a VR solution that does not make anybody motion sick.
Did we cover the price of this?
No.
So it's
a big boy.
The Index, all the pieces, you can buy them separately, but if you buy the package, it launches at $1,000,
That's a lot of money.
So
which is a lot of money. The HTC Vive base edition is $600, and the Vive Pro, which launched late last year, I believe, is $800.
So I do want to just say on that note, it is a little, yes, it's $1,000 if you go all in, all at once, which I know a decent number of people would be willing to do. But if you already own an HTC Vive, or you find some of these pieces on like Craigslist or something, every Gen 1 component is forwards compatible. So if you already have the base stations, which are like a couple $100, you could just use those. If you have a Gen 1 headset and you just want the new controllers, you can just buy those and use your Gen 1 headset. So everything's backwards and forwards compatible, which is kind of nice. So even if you're not trying to make the full jump, you can get some benefits out of this. But the headset alone is $500, which is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot. But one of the other things I noticed is if you look at the system requirements for the Index, they're actually pretty low. As far as GPU goes, they really only want like a 970, an NVIDIA 970, which is not that intense.
Yeah,
which is surprising to me.
They didn't raise the system requirements from the Gen 1, which makes me think what you get by using these minimum sets, you're not going to be playing games at 144 hertz, for example. You'll be playing them at 90 hertz, which is like the original target frame rate.
Yeah, but that kind of eats into, so if that bump from 90 to 144 is what gets you to stop being sick, like, that matters.
Well, yeah, and to go on to that point, Brian, like, if, like we're suspecting, that is truly the minimum spec for playing at low resolution, low frame rate, realistically, you're going to have to be paying for quite the computer to go along with this $1,000 headset.
Yeah, and that's always the thing about VR. Like, for me, I have a good computer, but not top of the line, for sure. But to, like, get something that you can really go all out with VR, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money to get there. Which has pretty much been the barrier of entry for me the whole time. So, I mean, I'm glad they're coming out with better versions of VR, but the fact that they keep getting more expensive is not really the right direction, in my opinion. But I wonder if they are working on, like, adding some hardware into the headset to mitigate the requirements on the PC side.
Well, I mean, so Oculus Quest is coming out like this month, I believe, and that is a standalone VR headset. There's no computer. You just put it on.
Right.
Yeah, but that's like halfway VR.
Yeah, so
No,
is
you don't
have the
Samsung
controllers and all
VR.
that.
No, you have the
Right.
controllers. It's a $400 VR headset. It plays Beat Saber and all your...
Yeah, but you can't, like, can you walk around and all
Yeah,
that?
you can walk around. It
It's
does
like-
inside-out tracking. It has like 5 cameras on the headset.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I mean, it looks very amazing for what they have. It does a lot more than I would expect from a standalone headset. And, well, I can feel myself going to the argument that that's not really, like, the peak of video games. So it's not like there's that many intense, like, high-fidelity VR games out there. Like, my mind jumps to No Man's Sky and Super Hot, which are, I mean, it's not like they're anything close to The Witcher or God of War or anything like that.
Skyrim and Fallout.
Right, which are like, what, 10 plus years old now?
Well, not Fallout, but yeah, Skyrim.
Yeah, but Fallout's not even close to looking as good as Skyrim.
Yeah.
But that's my point, is like, it's not like we have like intense graphical behemoths being played on VR. So maybe you don't need an index to get what you need out of VR.
Well, and I think that the hardware in the headset has that's got a lot of value to it, because if I do not have a top of the line. It was top of the line maybe in like 2010, but she's seen better days, and if I have no intention of buying VR, because if I was going to do that, not only would I have to buy the headset and all the shit that goes with it, but I'd have to buy a new computer, and I'd have to buy a good computer. So like, if they could sell me something that was, some of the processing power was offloaded into the headset, and you just use that when you're doing VR and all that good stuff, that would make a lot of sense. And I don't know, maybe the lower than expected specs kind of say that they're trying this, although that's very tentative.
I'm honestly there's two kind of things I want to talk about, and I want to get Jeremy's take on this if he can. But I am very excited about the controllers. Like, if this doesn't sell well or whatever, the fact that these controllers look really good to me. They look like a huge step up and almost next gen. Like, this is like the kind of innovation that happens over time with VR, and it's good that like these products are getting to market. I think the controllers are truly like you can play rock paper scissors with them. That's the kind of motion.
Explain a bit more, because I thought that a lot of VR sets have had controllers like these before. And yeah, this is the first one you can strap to your hands, but
yeah, but Jake, they scientifically engineered a strap. Okay, that's innovation.
Yeah,
like I'm surprised
with a strap.
I'm surprised we don't see the like tactile feedback gloves that you've kind of seen in experimental VR. Like,
yeah,
that to me would be a huge innovation.
So with the controller, like and I know this doesn't sound like much, but when you think about it, it's a lot. Like, and you can't do this with the touch controllers, which is the Oculus equivalent. When you just think of like existing in a VR space or like a regular space, things that you want to, like, if you're trying to immerse yourself in a world, you're going to want to try to pick things up and like drop them or throw them, right, or like pinch things, which you can do with these controllers based on like where all the sensors are aligned. These are actions that you could do, but it was very artificial. Like the Gen 1 Valve controllers, you had a squeeze function. So if you wanted to pick something up off the ground, you would move up to it in VR and you would squeeze your hand, and then you would unsqueeze your hand. But you'd still have to hold the controller. This way, if you want to pick something up, you literally close your hand all the way and wrap your fingers around the controller. If you want to drop it, you literally let go and it's much more immersive in that standpoint.
Although for what it's worth, I'm just going to be that guy for a second. I'm looking at the controller things right now where the guy's like throwing the mugs up in the air and smashing them with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
If you want to smash mugs with a baseball bat, right, you can get for $1,000.
A lot of mugs.
You can go to Walmart and you could get enough mugs and a really nice baseball bat. You could smash mugs all fucking day if you want. Like, and that's still kind of the big thing for me, is I don't get it enough to like want to put the money into it. And I think you guys have kind of touched on this. Like, the VR games that have come out up to this point have been, they look like something that would have come out in like 2007. Like it doesn't.
2001?
No, they're better than that. Like 2001 is like the Microsoft 3D Maze screensaver. Just think about that shit.
It's kind of what they look like.
Jay, what do you think about the headset? We haven't heard from you.
I don't know. What is there? The headphones aren't on-ear headphones. They are off-ear headphones. They're basically little like speakers that are suspended next to your head. I think that's pretty cool.
Really? I thought that was dumb.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know. Don't see that every day. It
That's
probably
true.
is stupid, but it's a little different.
All right, that's Jay's hot take. Well,
I don't like VR. I think it's not for me.
all right.
Dude,
Well,
they're gonna put a jack in your head, and it's gonna go right into your brain, and it'll be like the Matrix, dude.
The
Then
straps were step one. First, they put a strap on your controller. Next thing you
Then
know,
they put
jack in
a
the head.
the last
They put a strap on you. And they
the last
strap
thing
you
I
down.
want, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because it's deviating a little, but Nintendo launched their VR solution earlier this week for $40. I mean, you have to have a Switch too, so it's really $340 if you were to just do it that way. But that is...
Which, like, if you are, like, Seek
Is it
Medical,
made out of
if you
cardboard?
bought a Switch to
Yes.
place with Labo VR, like, that's
Well,
stuff.
I wouldn't say that you would necessarily buy a Switch for that, but let's just, you know, let's just say. So that's kind of that's what $340 can get you.
No,
in
dude,
VR
that's
right
what
now.
your cell phone and the fucking Google Cardboard thing will get you.
Dude,
It's
that's
the
what your
same
cell
thing, it's
phone
just
and,
a
like,
bigger
some
screen.
masking tape will get you, or some fucking duct tape, dude. Just fucking tape that to the front of your face.
Have you ever tried that? It's not fun.
No,
can tell
because
you
I don't like
personal
VR, dude.
experience,
I don't
but
have to.
So I don't know if anyone else has done the like gone to one of those VR. They're not VR warehouses, but like the companies that do like fully detached VR. You like put on the backpack, put on the VR headset.
You walk
get, like-
around with a ball and shit.
No, there's no
The
ball.
No, you like no, it's completely detached. And backpack's kind of an overstatement. It's not much. I mean, you're essentially wearing the headset. You get like a gun, and you do a VR game, and it's a
That sounds
ton
cool.
of fun. I loved it. There's one close to us. But like Brian said, the games for like your in-home VR are not really cutting it. I mean, I wouldn't call the ones that are in those like VR companies really groundbreaking. I mean, it was like the shittiest graphics for a zombie survival game, but it was a ton of fun. But the titles that Steam is promoting with this headset, I mean, a lot of them, nothing really stands out besides No Man's Sky, Super Hot VR. Like, those are really the only big named games out there. The rest are all kind of what I would put in as pseudo VR experiments turned into games.
I think the other thing to remember again, I mean, like, I would say not to be too negative, but I've already made too many comments for that. But like, a lot of these games that like you can quote unquote play in VR are going to have no support for like the ability to actually like grab things in the environment. Like in No Man's Sky, like there's zero grabbing. Grabbing is not a game mechanic whatsoever. So
The boy
like,
speaks the truth.
you're also going to, a lot of shit that you're going to look at and you're going to be like, that would be neat to grab. Can you grab it? No, you can't. So
There is some games with that. So like Hot Dogs, Horseshoes, and Hand Grenades, and Pavlov VR all have
Vacation
those, but
Simulator.
those are all like experimental
Simulator.
games turned into
They're-
other things.
quote unquote games where the gameplay is you pick up a VR donut and throw it at the wall. Like and it's like really, really small spaces, and that's the extent of what you can do. You can like pick up a few predetermined objects in the room, which is to say the things in the room, which is not much, and then like you can throw them.
We're still waiting for a killer app.
So like if
Oh
that's
yeah, so that is the last
$100.
thing that Brian brought up. Valve did say that they will have a first-party full VR title by the end of the year.
Will
Whether-
it be VR exclusive?
Yes, it's a VR app, VR game,
Maybe.
their own.
Yeah, I think I've said this in previous VR videos we've done, but it seems like the game titles is what is holding back VR right now. I mean, that and the price of entry is pretty significant, but
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the VR thing that I did, it was like $40 for an hour and a half, which is on the expensive side as far as activities go, but it's nothing compared to dropping $1,000 on a in-home VR set plus the cost of building a PC.
And I made a standalone video about VR, Jake, and I said that's where I think VR is going to shine from here on in, is going to things like that for like $30
Yeah.
instead of 1,000.
Agreed. And when you're in that kind of context, like, I think it changes the equation because the VR only has to do like one thing. Like, it only has to, map to one environment. It only has to, you're able to limit your parameters in such a way that, like, you can use the technology effectively. I think that's probably where the real future of VR is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I will say I'm interested to see how No Man's Sky goes, because only game you can play VR with non-VR people. Because everything so far has been like the VR people playing with themselves. This will be the first time that like you can play with your friends when there's that one really rich guy that buys the VR and then everyone else is just on their PCs.
That'll be me.
So,
You'll be the one really rich guy playing with himself.
Yep.
dude, everyone knows he's swimming in the YouTube money.
Oh yeah.
Get that
Hell yeah.
cash.
Yes. All right. Well, I think we're about done here. I mean, it sounds like we're happy that Valve hasn't given up. Progress. Any progress is good progress at this point. It's not necessarily for us though. At this point,
It's
I mean,
exciting.
I still don't like VR.
neither
I'm
is
in
Jeremy.
Jay's boat.
And
It's not my favorite thing.
I like VR. I just think I'm not. We're not there. This is getting closer.
Technology's advancing. It's just fucking expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, if this came out and it you didn't get motion sick and all that, maybe it'd be worth it. But I'm holding off. Okay, so I think we're good here. Brian, do you want to wrap the video?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just gonna drop some real facts for you guys here. If you're disappointed, as I know that I personally am, that they could have fed 50% of the Central African Republic, the worst starving country in the world, on the budget they spent for the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie, go ahead and let us know your thoughts on that down in the comments there. And, well, I can't say that. I've inhaled a lot of noxious fumes today, so I'm just going to leave that one to Chris. Like he said, Steam code, get it fast, and it's yours. And subscribe to the channel if you like this vid. We got a ton more like them. And smoke them if you got them, guys. That's all for me tonight, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Brian. We'll catch you guys next time.